Coach Anthony Hudson, who I think is ready to come on. We're going to see what's happening. I don't see his face, but I see a logo. Let's try to add him into the conversation right now.
Yo, what's up?
There we go. We got Coach in a closet. How you doing tonight, sir?
I'm doing all right. My closet, my office closet.
Here we go. Not as tired looking as I thought. First promotion, first event that you threw in the books. Congratulations on that. Looked like a huge success. I've seen many events with a lot less attendees. So first off, how you doing? How you feeling? And what kind of endeavor was it putting on your first event?
You know what? I can't say it was easy. I mean, it's always that was really difficult overall, but I think the support network I have was a big factor in making it as easy as possible. Obviously I'm not afraid of hard work, so I mean, I couldn't be a coach MMA fighter or anything like that without understanding that hard work is gonna come with everything. But hard work isn't an enemy to me, So I just had a lot of fun and it keeps me busy.
Desert Dynasty Promotions. Desert Dynasty is Coach Anthony Hudson's gym. You guys are always the road warriors. You finally put something together, took it to Alamogordo. What did you feel was just the response of the community that you and your guys were going to be able to get to perform at home for once?
The response has been there for the longest time, to be honest with you. I mean, it was there before I even released the information. Like over the years, we've had shows here, and there's always big gaps. There was years in between shows, and would get a new promoter, and then it wouldn't do. I don't know. I can't say it wouldn't do so well. There were just too many gaps. And people know I'm what's the word for it? Like I'm permanent here. I'm as permanent for now as I can be. I was raised here. So those time frames were just not enough for us. As far as my fighters go, and a lot of fighters can relate. It's hard to find constant matches, and we come from a small town, so it's like we hunger for something like that. We don't get a lot of crazy cool events or anything like that. Some of the local stuff is okay, but nothing to this scale. For me, it's just can't really say it's a dream, but I guess it was a dream. It was like people kept hitting me up left and right for years, and hey, when we gonna have something here? I'm like, I don't know. I'm not a promoter, guys. I don't know. And then just little by little, just kept going. And I've worked with so many different promotions already, with throughout the state and even out of state, that I started, really looking into, well, maybe I should start bringing something up, because it is getting a little more costly to travel, and I'm not a fighter anymore. I mean, I can't really, jump back in there with, my age and everything that's gone on in my life, but let me do something for everybody else. Let me fix some of the problems that I saw that could be better, so bringing it here was just one of those things that just popped up, and I said, you know what, I can do it. I think I could do it. So I jumped the gun.
You jump the gun, you jump into it, you put together a whole night of fights. Is this something you're going to do again, or did you feel like this was a one and done, and what did I get myself into?
No. I had a lot of fun. Like I said, the hard work, it was one thing. I'm not afraid of it. I like doing leg work. I need it. I get too complacent, and with complacency, for me, it's complacency's death. I can't settle. It's like I need to move. I have to stay busy, otherwise I am going to lose my mind. So with something like this, something in a field that I'm already been a part of, in an industry that I love, I've through and through, I'm always going to be part of the MMA community somehow. I'm going to find a way. I love MMA as a coach, as a fighter. I loved it. As a practitioner, everything. Now a promoter. I got a lot of support from the community, at least for around the area, for sure. I try to treat everybody how I wanted to be treated. I didn't have the best of luck coming into all this, like through a lot of the my own fight career. So knowing that on each end, like every aspect, being a fighter, listening to the coaching side, managing all that stuff. Now I get to see the promotion side. It helps me understand things a little bit more.
Specifically with your background with those interactions, like what do you feel was the benefit coming in now almost as a fresh promoter? You were almost, happily unknowing to that part of it where you already knew some of the gripes and shortcomings from a fighter or coach side. Like how was that using those to benefit as a promoter?
Um, I actually came into it thinking, I can't please everybody, and I can't. I'm not here to please every single person. I'm gonna have gripes, and I have to settle with that. I have to be comfortable with that, and I'm okay with that. Now, if I can get the majority of the people, to understand me and know that I'm not here to, be grimy or whatever people say or take advantage of fighters. I'm not here to do that. I got fighters of my own. I was a fighter. I know I've been taken advantage of. I've had that happen. So I don't want that for people. So like having the experience as again a fighter and as a coach, and then just looking at it from different stances in how MMA is, it gave me a leg up, and it gives me a lot more hope to be able to, I can't say make things different, but just make things good for our promotion, for mine. I can't speak on anybody else's promotions, whatever, that everybody, but the ones that I've been a part of, like the ones that do well, that are great, those are the ones I follow and kind of emulate. I try to pick what all the great stuff that comes with their knowledge and everything. And I have good mentors. I mean, that's really what it comes down to.
And you brought it up. You were a competitor before a coach, before getting into the promotional side. And if you could fill a little bit everybody in on your background as a martial artist.
Martial arts in itself. I mean, I've been a huge fan since I was a kid. I was actually, in karate and taekwondo and a lot of striking arts when I was a kid throughout, growing up. I've always been, and you can ask my brother, I was the one who was always trying to be the karate kid online and stuff like that. Not online, but like in life. Uh, he always used to give me shit about it. So like I always tried to, stick to that path. For some reason, I've always come back to that. Now, as far as MMA itself, I had some issues. I'm not perfect. I'm not a saint. I've had some issues. And I think a lot of us can relate to that. Coming off of, for me personally, I came off of, some drug binges, and I'm not one to shy away from that. I'll admit it. I've had a bad string of that in the past, like, but it was, over a decade ago. So I can't really, say it still affects me. I can't say it affects me now, but it did back then. And MMA itself, my cousin, she was a King of the Cage champion at one point, and I started like, okay, I watched the UFC one, who in our community hasn't. And I started from that and worked, all the way through them. The arts were great, and then I said, you know what, screw it, I got to find something better for myself. I got to find something better for myself. I got to pick myself up. I got kids, I gotta do something better for them. Let me just start out. Let's see how this MMA part of it goes. And I was not ready. I'll tell you straight up. It was a rude awakening. When you come through, you know, coming from a traditional martial arts background, karate, judo, that's technically the first, and taekwondo were some of the first ones I worked in. I've been dabbled in a lot of different ones. Um, Getting into the MMA side, it's a bit of a shell shock, and but it helped me. I mean, you got to be a little crazy to continue it, but I guess that coming the drive from it was trying to do better, and that's where I was like, okay, am I crazy? And I just kept coming back for some reason. I don't know why I kept coming back. It hurt every day. I'd always have black eyes, bruises, and I swear I broke my nose. These guys used to crack me like in the jaw. I'm like, man, is this really how it's supposed to be? It's not like the movies, guys.
You get beat up, practice is rough, you have some fights, there's highs, there's lows. At what point though is it this is life. This isn't just something that helped me in a recovery, helped me become who I am, that it is who I am, where you're like Desert Dynasty, where a gym, where this is such a big commitment to this will always be a focus in your life?
Um, that's a really hard question because I don't know if anybody can relate, but I'm a again, I'm transparent. I have doubts a lot. I have a lot of doubts, but I'm also persistent. I'm a very persistent. Even when I'm doubtful, I'm always persistent. Even if it's like, okay, I don't know if this is gonna work, I still try to do it anyways. Now, if somebody were to tell me, you can't do that, I'm a I do everything in the extremes. I live my life to the extremes. Anytime somebody says, "Oh yeah, you shouldn't do that, you shouldn't do this," it's like, "Oh, I'm gonna do it 10 times more now." Now, if it's me talking to myself and I have self-doubt, self-doubt's kind of one of my biggest enemies. But outside sources, if you're doubting me, if something says I can't do something, oh, I'm gonna do my best to try to prove it. Even if you're right, I'm gonna try my best to try to prove you wrong. And that's kind of where I keep continuing. Um, I keep continuing to thrive in that area. I think with my extremes, I get extreme measures, push my way too. So, it's, to this day, I'm still not sure. Like, there's still things I'm like, am I still going to continue doing this? I can't really give you a straight answer. I can just tell you, I'm here for now, and whatever happens tomorrow, I'm gonna probably continue to do it. You'll know when it's time for me to stop, but I can't tell you when I'm gonna stop.
But can you tell like when it became apparent to you that you didn't want to stop, or that the love was that great that
You know
you
what?
felt that good about what you were doing?
You know what? You know what? Yeah, yeah. You know what? I've had some health issues, and that I think that's when it really happened. When you've done something for so long, in your life, and you get this repetitiveness, and you get, you know, after a while, you get that burnout, and you feel like you're being a little complacent. But the moment you stop is the moment you miss it the most. The moment there's a potential for you not to be able to do it anymore. That's when it really hit me. Like, you know what? I'm gonna miss this. Why? What is going on? And again, you've seen I think I've told you about the health issues. My kidneys have failed. I had to get transplant and everything, and I'm still on the meds. So for someone like me to, you know, go through it all pretty much and bounce right back and jump back in, and even to this day, I'm still doing. The moment that really hit me was when I lost it all. And it's almost like rock bottom almost. When the moment it was like, hey, you have kidney failure. I started losing and spiraling a little bit because of the health issue, but the thought of losing it all and not being able to do it continuously, the thought of death was obviously apparent, but losing it all was a really big factor in not stopping. So this is, yeah. So I think that's probably the really the biggest part of what keeps me going. And when I said this is going to be the rest of my life, this is going to be for as long as I can make it till death. I mean, whatever you want to say, like for as long as I can go to the next life.
There's been the substance issues, there was the health issues, to come out on the other side, to last weekend be sitting cage side in Alamogordo watching Ricky Maynes and your guy Richard Jennings tear down the house, and what I've been told is an absolute barn burner, one of those fights, people, a true split decision that could have gone either way, and easily the fight of the night. For one, just not as the promoter for what you put together, but also for what the journey you and Richard have been on. Like, how emotional for everything you had been through was it sitting there in that promoter's chair for that main event?
You know what? Not that not that emotional. I'm so used to this. Like, I just love it so much that it's hard to, I don't know. I don't know. I guess I can't change it. It's just, I'm so used to this all. Like, there's really no other emotions except for let's go. Let's go. I mean, I'm just happy to be here and happy to do it all. I think the biggest emotion was excitement to see everyone. I mean, everyone keeps telling me great things, and at times I get a little self-conscious. I start thinking, was it a good fight? Are you guys lying to me? But no, you know what? All the fights, I keep getting great feedback, and it helps me out. Just so you guys know, it helps me a whole lot, and makes this is why I want to continue. But yeah, man, like as far as my emotions were that night, they were high, but also scattered. I was stressed. I was happy. I was myself. I was myself. You see how I am at the fights. I'm all over the place, and I love it. I couldn't change it.
Was there a sense of relief? I think from as I'm looking at your post, as I woke up the next morning on Facebook, I think I'm calculating. I'm like, I think Anthony was writing that somewhere between 2 and 4 in the morning. Was there relief as you're finishing that post and the cages broke down, the venue's torn down, you're able to go to bed, and you've actually accomplished this?
Yeah, that was actually like 4 in the morning. Yeah, I was pretty tired. We actually got done breaking the cage down and getting everything out, cleaning up. A little earlier, we went to go get some food and stayed up, but I was exhausted. And yeah, no, absolutely. I was like, oh my god, but for my first time, I'm exhausted, and it all hit me at once, and it hit me. It hit me yesterday too, and I was like, why am I still so drained? And like today, even I'm like, I don't want to move. I don't want to get up. I don't want to do anything. But all in all, it was a good exhaustion. It was well earned, I think, and I would love to do it again.
So battle at the basin too. Are the plans already mentally in work? So you starting to put some framework together for the next one?
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. That the young man that you just had on, Angel is an amazing fighter. I've been watching him, I think, since his second fight. So just past couple fights, he's a very talented guy, and I talked to him, and I mentioned something about a certain time frame, and if I continue this, I'd love to give him another title shot at my place, at my organization, and a few others. There's a few others out there that were on this card that I would love to see in title contention and stuff like that. I want to create some champions for our area. I mean, there's belts everywhere, but if I can make this a long-standing thing, then you know what? Why not? Why not?
Correct me if I'm wrong. I think I'm seeing 5 knockouts and 3 submissions on the night.
Oh yeah, dude. Oh man. Oh my God. The first 5 fights were insane. Like them guys were just getting at it. It was crazy. Um, I mean, yeah, they were just right at it, right out the gate. Especially the first one. The first one was just insane. Who was that? Gabriel Rocha and Israel Arioto. They were like tearing down. They tore down the house like just out the gate. I'm like, and right now they're kind of the ones who they I don't fight of the night. I would say they would have like performance of the night for one of them or two of them. Like there's so many different ways avenues to go with that, but they really set the tone for every fighter after that. It's hard to follow up whenever like the very first fight is like just insane like that. I mean, they were just getting after it. Nobody was stopping them. Nobody was holding them back. It was just nuts, like from bell to bell. It was great.
So now that you've got this under your belt, I got to know, promoter, matchmaker, coach, coaching your son, which is the most stressful job you've put yourself under in combat sports?
Yeah, you know what? If I had to pick out all these, I think this one. I think the matchmaking promotion wasn't too bad. I had fun with that one. I think matchmaking is probably the most stressful part because you know I wanted it to look good. I wanted the fights to look great, not just on paper, but from experiencing watching these fighters. I want to in my mind, I'm like, okay, I've seen this guy and I've seen this guy. Is this going to be a good match? And everybody says, you know what, every fight looks great. Um, I mean, yeah, I think that was the hardest part. And then keeping fights. Keeping fights was super stressful because I feel super bad whenever um, a fight drops due to, whatever. And I have to reach out to the opponent and say, "Hey man, I'm sorry, but this person dropped," and then having to scramble to look for replacements. and we only have so much time. And I think the most stressful part of that is when a fighter either doesn't turn in their paperwork. And that's kind of a weird thing. That throws me off when people don't turn in their proper paperwork. With New Mexico, it's only a couple things, so it's not that hard to turn it in. Turn it in, whenever. I mean, like as soon as possible, though. Not the week of. Like turn it in way earlier. But you know, trying to keep a fight together the week of the fight, and somebody either gets hurt or has to drop out, family issues, something like that happens. We can't stop that. It just happens. But at the same time, I feel terrible, and I have to try to scramble and see what I can do in that short amount of time. And I think that's where it gets the hardest. Promoting, I can talk about all that stuff all day. I can, oh, it's a fight. Let's do this. Yeah, come out, come out. Let's hey, check out this poster. Who wants tickets? I can do all that all day. But the fight, the matches was probably the most stressful part. And I'll tell you, you know what? Some of these guys, it's like pulling teeth. It's like, guys, give me the dang paperwork, give me all the stuff. It's only a few things. It's New Mexico. I think that's the hardest part, and no, it's not in an offensive way, not disrespectful. It's like, come on, I just need it done. I want you to fight, and I'm trying to help you out. But it's like, come on, just let's do this. Get on board, guys.
Desert Dynasty, been a diamond in a rough for Alamogordo for a long time, producing some great fighters, Coach. Wanted to give you a couple minutes. We look forward to Desert Dynasty Promotions, this sophomore endeavor, when you come up with it.
I mean, dude, thank you for everything, man. I mean, you've been seeing just that right there. I mean, just knowing that I've been through a lot, and then my gym has been through a lot. My team, we were on the map, but we didn't get. I don't know. We're getting our flowers. I could say that now. I feel like we're finally getting like our flowers, and getting. It's been a long time coming, and we're still there. Just know that we're still there. And I appreciate everything that you've done, and helped with us. You've always been like quick to interview my guys, and and then this is the first time I've actually got an interview with you. So I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, my bad. Been meaning to talk to you for a long time, get you on record. Hold you to the fire.
No worries, man. It's great.
Coach Hudson, you have a great night. I thank you for the time.